This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my good friend and promoter, of course, of Oleksandr Usyk, Mr. Alex Krassyuk. Alex, how are you?
Not bad. Not bad.
You've had a lot going on over the last week or so, of course. Let's take you back a bit. I'm sure you've answered these questions many times already. I'll try and throw in a few new ones just to keep you interested. But Tyson Fury gets cut in sparring. How do you first find out about this, and who tells you?
Dr. Akan gave me a call and told me that he has some news for me, and I asked whether it's a good one. He said, unfortunately, no. So Tyson got cut. That's it. And something like in 1 hour, the whole world came to know about that.
And what was your immediate reaction to the news?
None. I took it as it was. Even my heart rate didn't go up. Like I couldn't say I was expecting it to hear that, but it was. It's a common news for us. We've heard the news that Usyk Tyson fight is off for so many times that one more time doesn't change much.
It seemed like a lot of fans and observers were immediately skeptical about Tyson Fury's injury because of things that have happened in the past. Were you skeptical? Did you immediately believe that it was as he said?
I believed it was as he said. Well, after I saw the picture, after I saw Tyson, after I saw all things going around, I started to believe really that the cut is at place. But up till now, I'm not sure whether the video that we all seen is the one that actually proves the moment of the cut being obtained and the date when it was obtained. So can't explain much. I have no proofs, and it doesn't change anything.
And you put out something on social media where you were encouraging Tyson to perhaps consider retirement after what happened.
Well, I did not inspire him to retire. I inspired him to think of retirement.
Yeah, to consider it.
Yes. So he did that already 5 times in the past. So 6th time wouldn't change much.
And I think you said in another interview that Usyk laughed when he was informed that Tyson Fury would be pulling out of the fight. Is that correct? And was that kind of just an immediate reaction, or he just found it amusing generally?
He didn't laugh, he just smiled. And according to his explanation, that was a smile not towards Tyson Fury or situation. It was a smile coming from himself, from his heart. So he just felt okay, smile, and went back to work.
How close were you to agreeing a deal with Hrgovic's team, and that event still going ahead in February? February.
I'm not the one to make deals for the event because I'm not the promoter of the event. Sela company and Turkey Al-Sheikh, they are taking care of boxing in Saudi at the moment, and they were the ones to take all the decisions. So we just offered this solution to avoid the damage that the fighter is gonna get, especially the undercard fighters who suffered a lot for no reason. Many other things were involved, like global broadcasters, tickets, advertising campaign, marketing, travels, blah, blah, blah. So many things. Because I've been in boxing, I know how it works. That's why we offered for their consideration, to our opinion, pretty good solution. But of course, it's up to them to decide. They have this they have their own approach to business, and so they decided to make it in 3 months.
From your discussions with Sela and His Excellency, was it ever close, the Hrgovic, your suggestion?
We suggested, and then we heard the solution. So the decision, actually, not the solution, it was decision. You never know if that was the good one or the bad one. Only history or time will show.
Were you surprised by how quickly a new date was agreed, given the severity of the cut?
The date was based not on the card, not on the medical reports, not on our will, not on Usyk's desire. It was based on one thing, IBF extension. So IBF has given their consent to give the 90-day extension in case of an injury. So the injury occurred, the extension, the period was at place. Nothing to say more.
How confident are you that Tyson Fury will be healed enough to make that date?
I'm not confident at all, especially when it comes to Tyson Fury. My confidence will grow when I hear the first bell ring. Before that, it's more about performing, talking, giving interviews, having press conferences, sending some videos on social media. But the real fight starts after the first bell. So let's wait, let's see. Whatever happens is something that has to happen.
And Turkey Al Sheikh, of course, announced a couple of things regarding this new date. First of all, if either fighter were to pull out, they would forfeit $10 million of their own money and give it to their opponent. Now, Tyson Fury's just pulled out with no penalty. Usyk's not pulled out. Does it seem a little unfair that both fighters are subject to this forfeit?
We did not go deep into discussions. This condition was proposed by our side. We call it Lapin rule. Sergey Lapin, who is the head of Usyk camp, he was the one to insist on this one. And the second one was that in any case, if Tyson pulls out, someone else has to fight him on this date. Probably Saudi people, they tried to reflect the same condition for Tyson, but it's still subject to be under discussion.
And there's been a lot of criticism out there of Tyson going into that sparring session wearing not a full face head guard, something he's never really worn in the past. Were you disappointed to see that?
I was disappointed to see that because I can't up until now I can't believe that that exact video shows the moment of the cut. How the hell comes an uppercut and ending with an elbow right into you have your headgear like this. You have at least so it should be a very sharp elbow, maybe like a knife. Like Bruce Lee punch. So my vision is that the cut might have happened earlier, and some justification was taken on video, because when you come out and shout that, okay, guys, I'm fucking not disciplined, I'm not surprising you. So I sparred without any headgear. I didn't put any Vaseline on my sparring partner gloves. I didn't put Vaseline on my eyebrows. So here I go with the cut. Unfortunately, I've taken a left hook to my eyebrow. So unfortunately, the fight of the century has to be cancelled because I missed this rule. I just skipped it because my team didn't insist on that, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't sound decent. So you have to justify your injury somehow. But I'm not questioning injury at all. The injury is true, is genuine. So and the fighter cannot fight with a cut like that.
But you believing that it happened earlier, what was the delay in telling everyone if that was the case? Is it to come up with a story that makes sense?
This is nothing more than just my imagination.
Sure.
So do you want me to share my imagination?
I'd love you to share your imagination.
So I've been myself in these situations before. And when it comes to an injury, when your fighter is injured, or let's say your opponent, you have announced the fight and you're coming closer to the date. You've invested so much already in the marketing, you're selling tickets, the show is on, the advertising is on your broadcaster, TV station, so they are pushing it. And at some point, you get an email, let's say, from opponent's manager saying, "Oh, sorry, my guy has an injury in his hand," for example.
Sure.
So the show is off, but you're not picking your phone up, going to Instagram and go live immediately saying, "Oh, sorry, we have some bad news." So you have to work out a strategy.
Sure.
How to announce it, what to say, what if you decide to cancel the show or to reschedule it. So you go with this information and you take some certain period of time for consideration. Normally it works like this.
And it was reported that Usyk missed the birth of his daughter in camp. Did that make it even tougher to take that the fight had been postponed?
He missed St. Nikolai's Day, where in Orthodox it's celebrated in the family circle. New Year, his own birthday, and the birthday of his son, number one. And then he missed his second son's birthday. Then he missed his daughter, real birth. He had to sacrifice this because boxing is like that. When you are fighting for the undisputed heavyweight championship, you have to sacrifice a lot. But when you sacrifice a lot, your prize is growing bigger. So it's normal for fighters to sacrifice. They've been sacrificing all of their lives from being kid. When their schoolmates went for parties, they went to the gym. So it's normal. He's not like putting it on a scale, saying, "Look how much I sacrificed." No, it's just a matter of fact. He did so, but he did that for reason. He was aware of what he's doing.
And is he now taking some time out before going back to the gym? Because you obviously don't want to spend 5 months straight in the gym.
He's seen his daughter only on the pictures and on video calls. He now wants to go back to Ukraine to hug his daughter, to hug his wife, to spend some time there, and soon he'll be back for hard work.
Glad to hear it. The other thing that Turkey Al Sheikh promised, aside from the $10 million forfeit, is that there would be a replacement fight, as you mentioned earlier, for whoever is left standing if someone else pulls out. For Tyson Fury, His Excellency said that would be, hopefully, Anthony Joshua. And he said for Usyk, it'd be an opponent of his choosing. Is there a short list that His Excellency has insisted on? Because Usyk could suggest anyone, couldn't he?
When it's been said Usyk is choosing, how can we speak about the short list? The short list is the rating, but we have a concept to unite all the belts, and without fighting the IBF mandatory, we unfortunately cannot do so. So I think Filip Hrgović will be our highest priority. As a boxing promoter, I shouldn't say it loud on media, but it's a matter of fact. I'm not telling some spaceship science. It's not a rocket science behind it. It's normal stuff. We all understand that this has to go on. And even if Tyson Fury fights someone else one day, and or he vacates or he retires, someone else will be announced the WBC champion. We will have to take him and finally unite all the belts to become the undisputed in heavyweights.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all and 10 being really shocked, how surprised would you be if Tyson Fury were to pull out of the May date as well?
This time it would be definitely positive, something between 3 and 4.
Well,
Now, I tell you why. Because now he's under pressure, under hard pressure. And he was the one to put himself under these circumstances. He is under pressure of, first, financial. He is responsible for 10 million.
mm,
I mean, it's not Turki Usyk who's giving this money from some budget. It's Tyson Fury who has to pay his withdrawal. Number two, Turki Usyk, who is quite, how to say, influential person, has given his reputation
mm.
to save Tyson's reputation. So this is another very important push on Tyson's mental. So, but it's only he who's guilty of that. I mean, you have to be professional. If you are fighting, you're fighting undisputed heavyweight, century or fight of the century. Of course, anything may happen, but you have to protect. There is a protocol of protection. You have to have your every team member staying cautious 24/7 for you not to ruin your ankle, not to eat something wrong, not to drink something wrong, to go to bed in a proper time, not to stay in your phone for too long, to read books, not to read books, whatever. This is a very, very disciplined period. You have to keep that.
Do you have any concerns that Fury could be trying to? I heard it mentioned he could be trying to age Usyk out, so keep him waiting as long as possible. Usyk's getting older; he's had a long career.
Oh yeah, when Usyk is having his white beard and Tyson is like on a wheelchair, and
You've
finally
seen
the
it too, yeah.
undisputed is happening. No way, no way. It's absolutely impossible. Tyson himself is not a young kid. And trust me, the life he lived does not give him extra health and extra, let's say, credibility in terms of his physical conditions. Usyk was in training all the time. Tyson was out for so many times, and you know the reason why. He's been tested positive. He's been drawn with some extra weight, a lot of extra weight. So it doesn't work good for your health. And when you speak about someone who is older than you just for 1 year and a half, or how many? Yeah, it's 1 year and a half. So it's not a really significant difference. Would you agree?
I would. I think the only thing is Usyk had a much more active amateur career, I think, than Tyson Fury. So he's had a longer time in the sport, perhaps.
Do you think it's a disadvantage?
No, but I think that's why people are saying, is he trying to age him out? I think that's part of it.
Let him try. This time, his attempt to age him out would cost him $10 million. So it should be an expensive one.
Very much so. And you get that $10 million also, not you, but Usyk.
We respect the word of our partner, His Excellency Turki Usyk. We trust him.
Good to hear. Now, something else that was suggested actually earlier today, we were interviewing Alan Babich. I think it's going live tomorrow. And he said he believes this whole thing that's gone on is going to mean the public at large, not just those in Ukraine, will now be supporting Usyk. That Fury has maybe lost the people in this now.
Difficult to say. Maybe Fury loves to fight when he's an underdog. You never know. He tried to beat out Vladimir Klitschko, his mental condition, trying to pull out several times before their match, and then pulling out completely of their rematch. And well, in Klitschko fight, he was an underdog. Maybe he's superstitious, or maybe a fortune teller told him, you have to be an underdog to win, or whatever. We can just guess. The truth is that at this moment we are fighting We are supposed to fight on May 18th in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
And all these issues, all these hurdles that you guys have gone through on the way to this undisputed fight, you know, negotiations breaking down, the latest thing with the cut, all the trash talk as well, more so on Fury's side. Will it make it more satisfying should everything go your way on the 18th?
You know what's gonna be satisfying? When Tyson Fury walks into the ring in his best possible shape, the best he could do throughout all this period of time. He comes up with no excuses for any issues with his health, with his mental health, with his conditioning. He comes and sincerely says, I am on my toppest top. Here I am, I'm fighting Usyk. And then he gets defeated by Usyk, and then the victory is the sweetest. Because no one can challenge your victory. No one can say that, Tyson was already gone. Tyson was done. Tyson was out. He was too fat. He was he had this cut on his eye. His nose was broken, whatever. No. Then it stays with you in history. It stays for you for ages.
And is there a rematch clause for Usyk and Fury?
Yeah, there is a rematch clause, very direct one. No matter what happens, who wins, we have an immediate rematch.
So then what happens to mitigate the situation with the IBF? Because as you said, you know, they've given you this extension to the 18th. They're probably not going to give you an extension for a rematch.
The rematch will not be for the undisputed, most likely.
That's a shame.
Unfortunately, this is what it is. I mean, but you never know. We are talking from the perspective of today. We never know what's going to happen. May 8th, Hrgović is supposed to fight. You never know how he fights, if he wins or loses. What's going to happen to his position, to the mandatory. Maybe at some point IBF will decide to announce the interim champion and satisfy their rule. There is some space for maneuvering, but it's up to Daryl Peoples and the board of IBF directors to decide.
And just finally, if Usyk is successful on the 18th of May and then beats Tyson Fury in the immediate rematch, do you think he'd retire at that point, having become undisputed at cruiserweight and heavyweight?
I don't know. He wouldn't. What I can really say is that he will not have enough motivation because he reached the highest heights. What can give him the extra incentive?
Exactly.
Money? I'm not sure. By the time he wins all the belts, money will not motivate him. Fame is not the one. Glory, yeah, legacy, but the legacy is already on board. But we are talking ifs at the moment. So let we take it step by step and see how it goes. We never know what God has cooked for us. So let's be patient and wait.
Well, that's what we're all doing at the moment, being patient and waiting for May the 18th. Alex, really appreciate you catching up with me. And yeah, let's do it again soon.
Definitely, yes, Danny. It was my pleasure.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.